Y'all, that Diddy Bob is looking a lot different these days. Because nowadays, it's the federal agents Diddy bopping their way into Diddy's big-ass mansions. And I'm not even being funny. I'm literally astonished. Today was such a day. So much happened. The federal agents, Homeland Security, raided Diddy's homes, both in LA, in Miami. I'm Loren LoRosa. At the end of the day, there's always a lot to talk about. So let's get on into it.
My girl Loren LoRosa.
Grinding. Brown girl grinding. This is literally a movie. I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything and everybody. Brown girl grinding with Loren LoRosa and get it poppin'.
Normally, when I would do a breakdown of sorts like this, I would kind of keep my own opinion and all of that out of it. I'm gonna give a little bit of both here. I'm gonna give a little bit of both. Only because I am still somewhat in shock that I am watching what I would honestly call the takedown of one of the biggest entertainers in the world right now. I feel like when it comes to Diddy and all of the sexual assault lawsuits that we have recently seen hit the media and like all of that stuff, I had a lot of faith for a long time that he would have to, lose some money, pay out some money, go off the scene for a while, be quiet, reflect, think about what he's done, come back to try and do better. Now, after seeing federal agents from Homeland Security in partnership with two police departments in LA and Miami, raid Diddy's homes, detain his sons, put his sons in handcuffs, drive up on boats with guns fully cocked and loaded. I'm like, bro, we honestly, I don't know. And I don't know. I'm not ready to give up all about the Benjamins yet. Can we at least keep all about the Benjamins? I know with R. Kelly, we had to mute his shit, but like, please. 2003, allegedly, there was an incident that happened with a woman who filed a claim a few months ago in the Southern District of New York, saying that Diddy and colleagues of his raped her. She says that she met some of his colleagues, flew with them to a party, and there in that party is where she was raped. And she says that all this happened when she was 17 years old. There's also been other allegations, of course, we know, of sexual assault. And within these allegations have been allegations of human and sex trafficking. Now, because of all of this, today we witness agents from Homeland Security investigations enter into Diddy's houses. And I don't even know what they was looking for. Whatever they were looking for, I'm like, well, did you find it? Because they came deep as hell. Like, they came deep. So for the house in Miami, there were visuals of helicopters circling the house. There were visuals of federal agents pulling up on boats.
You're guilty by association.
In LA, you saw literally, it was probably like 10 to 15 like officers fully like swatted out, big ass guns, coming into the front door. When they come in, everything is loaded.
On scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say less than 10 minutes ago.
They're grabbing people out, putting people in cuffs. There were visuals of Justin Combs and Christian Combs being detained, and other people too, but we didn't recognize the other people, while they figured out what I guess was going on, which is normal, by the way, even though it's crazy because you're like, why would they take someone's freedom in order to figure out what's going on? But a lot of times with police officers and in circumstances like this, they'll do that so that they can kind of like, scope the scene, just to know, make sure that they're safe as they're entering and like all that stuff. Now, I reached out to reps from Homeland Security who really wouldn't say much whatsoever. This was a part of an ongoing investigation in conjunction with an ongoing investigation out of New York that is now working with Los Angeles and Miami, and called them local law enforcement partners. And they said that as more information becomes available, they will release it. I circled back to them and I said, well, can you at least confirm whether or not your agents spoke to Diddy, whether it was in person at either location or via phone or any of his reps? And can you specify, not just because of prior investigations, ongoing investigations, but what from those investigations prompted a search of this magnitude? They shut it down, would not respond whatsoever. And I think those are the two questions that honestly, to me, will tell us, like, what is Diddy's fate about to be? I thought for a while that Diddy was going to be able to step off the scene, let this cool down, you know, take his losses from this and come back. But, I mean, the man who's been narrating our lives for most, for me, all of my life, I think we're about to see it be over for him in a very big way because of how large this was. And with federal agents, they're not going to misstep. Like, even if they didn't find what they were looking for, the fact that they got approval from a judge to be able to go into these homes and do this on such a large scale and in such a high profile case, there is something there. Normally it is, you know, a testimony from someone who is, you know, a part of the suit, or, you know, like one piece of evidence that may have led to something else and they're trying to like patch something together. But there's something strong here that prompted this. And when that comes out, I think we'll really honestly be able to say whether we think in a courtroom how Diddy will fare. If this even, like, look, investigation wise, how Diddy will fare. Now, I have been tipped off about this literally as it was happening. And at first, I kind of didn't believe it, like, just a little bit, because I'm like, why is it not on Twitter? Like, the house in LA is secluded. Like, I know where the house in LA is, and it's secluded. But the one in Miami, Star Island, like, it's a nice day out. People are on the water in their boats. People know, they know Diddy's home in Miami. Those houses are, like, well known. Why isn't someone on Twitter posting about it? Why isn't there video? So I had this ready from the tip that I received, but I was like trying to figure out how to confirm it. I was reaching out to people, and then I saw one person go on Twitter, and I was like, all right, bet. So then I went. That person just said that he had also been told, it was a local reporter, I believe, out of Florida. He said that he had also been told that there are people surrounding Diddy's house in Miami. That was all the information I had. I didn't know anything about the house in LA at the time. I was told that it was the house in Miami and that it was related to sex trafficking. I didn't know from which case, because there are multiple cases that claim that, but that's all I was told. So I went with the tweet, and then TMZ posted, and they later confirmed that it was in connection to the sex trafficking. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, the information that I'm being fed is like, it's on point. So then I spoke with another source who told me that, because from what it looked like, Diddy wasn't there. And I'm like, Diddy is like, you can't miss him. Like, if he was in any of these places, we would have saw him as these visuals started to come out. So it already clicked in my mind that Diddy was not in these homes. So the person I spoke to had told me that there was he basically had been tipped off that this was going to happen. And again, that is not confirmed, that piece of information, but that is what I was told. So allegedly Diddy was tipped off that this was going to happen, which is why he was not at any of the homes. And honestly, the visual of Diddy in handcuffs during a federal raid in relation to sex trafficking, I mean, the business is already damaged, but that would have been a lot more damaging. Like, that would have been insane. What is also jarring about this too is the fact that Cassie has come out and, well, Cassie's attorney came out in response to all of this and basically said that they're willing to support, they're in support of anybody, you know, making sure Diddy gets his just due for the conduct that he's displayed. And I'm like, dang, like, the Cassie lawsuit really spiraled out a time in I never would have thought I would see today. There's going to be so much more developing from this. I'm in contact with anyone I can be in contact with, trying to, you know, get updates and follow the story and be as factual and as sensitive to this as I can on both sides, because there are victims that are claiming, you know, certain things, and, you know, this is a man's life literally in his career dangling in the midst of this. So make sure y'all stay tuned with me, stay locked. It's Brown Girl Grinding. At the end of the day, there's always a lot to talk about. So I appreciate y'all always being here with me to talk about it. I will see you guys in my next upload.